Morning fellas, welcome back to another Villa on Tour video. Today, got a special guest. Now, this is for, Owen obviously. We're going for some sort of new series. I don't know whether this will be a constant new thing. Basically, we're going to talk about everything Villa that's happened in the last week. And also a few other big football stories.
It's like a weekly roundup.
Well, yeah, talk about big things that have happened in the Premier League, maybe former Villa players, which we'll come on to later today. But if you like it, let us know, leave a like on the video, comment your thoughts with everything we're going to discuss coming up in this video. We shall be reflecting on the Spurs game a little bit more, the Conor Hourihane Twitter situation with the fan, talking a little bit about VAR, Tammy Abraham's debut for Chelsea in the Premier League against Manchester United, and looking forward to the whole Bournemouth thing, going back to Villa Park, and of course, Twitter questions from you lot. Now, we haven't got a name for this series yet, so if you want to leave us some suggestions, I'm sure some of you are quite witty and will come up with something good, so leave them in the comments below. This is looking to be between about 15 or 20 minutes, but we might make it longer in the future, I don't know. But first thing, we're going to talk about Tottenham. There's only one place we can start. 3-1 loss. Now, there's a lot of positives to take from it. When you initially came up the ground, it was a little bit negative.
Yeah, a lot of people were unhappy. There was a fight as well, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of positives. I think for me, the main one was defensively how good we were. Mings and Engels.
For so long.
Well,
you come up against a very, very good side. When you look back at it, you think it wasn't even that bad. Champions League finalists, they'd gone to Man City and beaten them, they'd knocked Ajax out, and to go there, where maybe, I think there's only been about 7 or 8 teams play there, to take the lead there as well, being one of the 3rd or 4th team to do so, and to hold out for so long, there's a lot of positives you can take from it. Like defensively, I thought we were just brilliant.
Mings it was just a magnet to his head, the ball, wasn't it? It was just every corner, every cross, well, say every, till the 75th minute.
He just seemed to be on it with all the corners and stuff, but I saw Engels as a stronger player for that game.
Yeah.
Yes, Mings did what Mings does best, but having not seen Engels play properly, and the way he just was so comfortable on the ball, just picking it up, moving it on, he was just getting stuck in with everything.
It's their first competitive game together, and that's only a positive going forward, because throughout the season they'll gel more, and it's generally a positive, and I think that has the potential to be a really, really good partnership.
On behalf of 98% of Villa fans as well, I'm going to apologise for slating Neil Taylor.
Well, let's talk about the team.
When the team first came out, everyone went, why is Elmo starting?
Yeah.
Why is Taylor starting? And why is Jota not starting? That seemed to be the general with everyone. I was mostly surprised by the Taylor thing. I believe Gilbert was injured. I'm not sure how true that was. I don't know.
There was pictures of him in the tunnel. He was just left out.
I don't know what's happened there then. I'd have played him. I thought he'd had a brilliant pre-season. Yeah. But I'm not sure with Taylor. I thought Target had done fine in pre-season. He was comfortable.
Taylor did well though, didn't he?
But yeah,
was good.
Like everyone said, he had a cracking game. He kept Lamella fairly quiet first half. And yeah, didn't really do a lot wrong.
So I think the standout players, like we've said, were the defenders. I think Tom Heaton had a really, really good game as well. I think it was at 1-0 or 1-1. He made that save from the free kick, which was ridiculous. And I think we've talked about it before, he's an absolute steal. Have you seen the Jack Butler? He was playing for Stoke. Jack Butler did at the weekend against Charlton. They lost 3-1, I think it was. Yeah. Have you seen the mistake?
No, I saw the one in the QPR game when he's come flying out of his box and just got caught.
He's had 2 games, 2 mistakes. Basically, a Charlton player had a shot, it went straight through him. Tom Heaton just looks so assured, and he just looks so safe.
I think that's the area you need experience. Maybe Nyland, Kalinic, whatever, or Steer might not have. So you look at that save from the free kick, just smashed it, and then there was one in the build-up to their equaliser as well. And you think, could Steer have, I don't know. But Heaton as well, like I think I said on the video, he was good when it came to the time waste. I know we had to do that, but he's known in the league, so he's kind of get away with it a little bit more, you'd think. But yeah, he was fine, and he will be very good for us. Now, the holding midfielder spot is a big debate going into the season ahead, and there was a lot of abuse in this game for Conor Hourihane. Right, so I put a tweet out, I'm sure many of you saw, a little poll about who I think should start. Hourihane got the most with Luiz, just a bit behind. You can't drop Hourihane. Had he not scored or anything in pre-season and he just done whatever, I'd have stuck Luiz in. Because I thought Luiz looked quite lively when he come on as well.
Yeah, he had 8 minutes or so.
Yeah, but he looked just comfortable. Hourihane, I thought he had a game similar to when Whelan wasn't doing a lot. he was just there. I didn't think he did a lot wrong, but he wasn't seen much. He just kind of picked it up and moved it on.
Exactly, and he still got abuse, and he didn't really do much wrong. Now, Jack Grealish during the game, let's be fair, he didn't have his best game against Tottenham. He gave the ball away in the first half. It was his fault, the second goal, dithering on the edge of the box. If Horahan did that, there'd be people slamming it. I just think it's so unfair on Horahan. People just have a certain agenda against him. It's just
no names mentioned, but there's a said Twitter account. You know who you are.
Should we just talk about the facilities at Tottenham as well? When we got there, we walked around the ground, it just looks like a spaceship.
I think the general vibe is when you look at it from above, it looks like a toilet seat. You can't tell from inside, but you can see with the roof.
Yeah, the concourse wasn't as big as I was expecting.
Yeah, you lot went in before me, I was waiting outside, but it didn't look as... I wasn't sure what to expect, to be quite honest. The only thing I knew was about the points thing with them, but apart, I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know if it was going to look like a shopping centre or it was going to just be... I thought
the home concourse is bigger, much bigger. I think the safe standing's good. I like
That's a very good addition. I've seen that, and I've seen on the teams they were like persistent. I know everyone just stands anyway, but the fact they've put safe standing, I think, is very good. That's a very good addition.
Next thing we're going to talk about, moving on from Tottenham, is a certain Twitter debacle that happened over the weekend. Conor Hourihane came out and said this on Twitter. "Hi Craig, remember this tweet in 2014? I always remember it to this day. Ironically, you're a Villa fan who I made my debut with. Never tell anyone they can't achieve something." Did you see all this?
I caught onto it. Yeah, I was looking through the friend stuff. I don't really understand. Well, I do understand it, but I just don't get how it's come about.
This Craig bloke said to Hourihane, at Conor Hourihane, "Good article, mate. You're our girl's best player, kid. No danger, but the Premier League? Question mark. There's ambitions and there's reality." Now, this was in 2014 when Hourihane was playing for Plymouth in League Two. Why is a Villa fan gone over? It is a bit weird.
Yeah, I can understand. I don't know why he's been given the grief for it. But everyone's got to...
And Hourahan's shut him up, basically. 5 years later.
Completely done him over. I don't know if he replied to it or I've not looked into that.
And they got like 45,000 likes to Hourahan. So Hourahan has just shut him down. Fair play to him. He put the haters in the bin. Fair play to him.
See you later.
So, a hot topic going into this season is VAR. I've never seen it before with Villa. We've never experienced it before. It came in a couple of years ago at the World Cup and sort. But now it's prominent in the Premier League, and in the Tottenham game, I think there was a couple of occasions.
There was a red card thing that just kind of played down, but the main talking point was the John McGinn penalty.
I didn't think much of it at the time.
When I first saw it, I thought, nah, he's gone over a bit soft there. Again, still, when I look back on it, it's still a bit... I think I saw someone on Twitter, I think I've seen someone on Twitter go, if it's soft, but you could see it given, but then if it was given against you, you'd be frustrated.
Yeah. If that happened, like in the middle of the pitch when it was 0-0, like he'd give it, but it's because it's in the box and people are saying, oh, they've got an agenda against, they're going for the top 6 sides, but it was a little bit soft for me. But I think, talking about VAR in general, I think it was really good because the ref didn't go over to the little monitor.
Do they have them in the grounds? I've not seen them, because every time I've seen it, they just seem to stand on the pitch still.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
When I've seen the World Cup and stuff, there's screens around.
I'm not sure. I know they don't put the incident on the big screen for us to see. Because
it just said they were checking a penalty.
Yeah, so I think it was slick. When we're in the ground, we don't obviously see the incident back, but I think it's really fast. I didn't notice too many issues. I think people watching on TV, obviously, they see the actual incident, but for me, I think it's smooth, but there was a few issues over the weekend. We were in the bar, actually, before the Tottenham game. We saw the West Ham penalty incident where Declan Rice went into the box when Aguero was taking it and they had to retake the penalty. So that was a bit of an iffy one. Wolves as well.
Yeah, that's the handball. It's very, very soft.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I wouldn't want to see Wolves do well or whatever else, but I think it was Bolly, wasn't it? He was stood 2 feet away from Neves or whoever it was that headed it at the time.
The Premier League have said if the ball touches your hand leading up to a goal, it's a handball. Whether it's if you meant it or not, they're going to give it. So Nuno, the manager of Wolves, was moaning about it, but that's the rule.
It's a fair rule to stand by. It stops more confusion, any issues. Then, if it hits your hand, you got to get on with it. It's one of them.
But overall, I think VAR, it's got a few teething problems.
It will get there, though.
Yeah, we've got 38 games this season and the season after. I think we'll get there eventually. But hopefully, we'll see a few more instances this season with Villa where it might be a little bit iffy, but we'll see. Overall, I like VAR. Right, so next topic. This isn't directly to do with Villa, but it's this new series. We like to have a look at players who have played with Villa in the past. One of them being Tammy Abraham. Now, you all know the issues with Chelsea going into this season, the transfer issues they've got. They've let a lot of players go. So they have to start a few. The youngsters, Mason Mount, I know, started yesterday against Man United. Tammy Abraham started. Did you watch the game?
I saw highlights of it afterwards.
Tammy Abraham, I think 0-0, 5 minutes in, he had a shot from the edge of the box,
Yeah, I saw
rocketed
that.
against the
post.
post.
And you see, I'd love it when Tammy has a shot. He's like, oh, he gets proper wound up with himself. Like
he got into the game. To be fair, he looked a little bit isolated during the game.
He worked very hard in the first half.
Yeah, he got subbed off, I think, around the hour mark, and then Man United just demolished Chelsea after that. But I think, I want him to succeed. There was talk about him coming back in the summer, but I didn't really think that was ever going to happen. Hopefully he does well for Chelsea. Hopefully he gets game time. Hopefully he doesn't get back to bite us on the arms.
Should be all good.
So, sorry. Right, we've had our first game of the season away from home. Saturday, we're back. We are back at Villa Park. Bournemouth at home, absolutely buzzing to be back. It's been a while. I think the last game was West Brom in the playoffs, which seems absolutely ages ago.
Yeah.
Bournemouth 1-1 draw against Sheffield United. Did you see
Probably
that?
a little bit unlucky. The Sheffield United goal was a little bit damaged.
Yeah.
But it gives us a little bit of confidence going into it.
But let's be honest, they've got good players defensively. I think they play 3 at the back. They're not brilliant, but they've got good players going forward. David Brooks is a class player. Callum Wilson, Josh King, and they've drawn their opening game, so they're going to come into this wanting to do well, looking for 3 points. But then again, so are we. It's going to be tough, but I think the atmosphere. I won't give the score predictions away because we'll save that for the video, but I think we're going to have to go through it. I think it's going to be a sellout at Villa Park.
Sold out very quickly.
So hopefully the atmosphere will carry us through. Should we talk about the team that you would sort of play? Now, we talked about the Tottenham team, which was a little bit funny.
Yeah.
Would you'd start Horahan, would you?
Yeah, I would stick with Horahan personally. Yeah, I know he got a lot of slack, but he didn't do. I don't think he did anything wrong. If anyone thinks he did a lot wrong, let us know. But I thought he was just there.
The funny one as well is Nakamba not being on the bench. Like, he chose Luiz at Tottenham. Now Nakamba's been training with the squad a week longer than Luiz.
Luiz hadn't had any sessions, but I think Smith said he trained abroad a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was with just like any other club or just on his own.
No. I wouldn't be surprised. I myself as well would start Horahan, but I wouldn't be surprised if he started one of Luiz or Nakamba. I just see that happening. But I think with the full-back situation, I don't know whether he'll change both Taylor and Elmo because he might want to keep a bit of continuity there. But I can see one of them coming out, whether that be Gilbert or Target. I'm not too sure. But I think we will see changes for Tottenham.
The other one that would cause a lot of issues is, would you start Jota or would you start Trezeguet? I think I mentioned it in the video. I would have started Jota at Tottenham and then brought Trezeguet on to try and light something up towards the end. I don't know if we were still 0-0 or something, see if we can nick something. Trezeguet, I thought, had a brilliant game. Yeah. I thought he was very good. He was quick. He was lively. I think El Ghazi showed a lot of pace as well. Maybe not as much, but
it's just the end product with Trezeguet.
There was a couple he just nailed across the box. Yeah, and he's had his chances as well.
But his movement looks good. His connection with Elmo down the line looked bright. I think it was when it was 1-0. John McGinn played that really good ball through to him, and he probably should have scored. But he looked bright. He was one of our best players in the first half, and I would probably start him as well. I was shocked that Jota, whatever his name is, didn't start.
Yeah, because he'd had quite a strong pre-season.
Yeah.
Didn't look as bright in Tottenham. It was probably a bit of a wake-up call for him.
It was a difficult time for him to come on.
Yeah. He looked more the player that he did at the other club down the road. He kind of just lingered out on the right hand side, picked up the ball, expected to do something. In the games against Walsall and Shrewsbury, he was allowed to float, and he did start to do that towards the end, but obviously it was too late.
It was obviously a really tough place to go. I think against the worst teams in the league, he could really help us. But I'd start Trezeguet. I think he was one of our brightest players. But apart from that, I think he'd keep the team the same. Now Wesley, should we talk about Wesley, because he got, when we came out on the ground, he was getting a lot of slack. People were calling him crap and all that, but it was a tough place to go. It's your first game, a new team, competitive game, Tottenham away. It was never ever going to be easy.
Even so, I thought the first half he was very good. He held up the ball well.
Even for the McGinn goal, he shoved off Sanchez. Didn't he?
And he just made that run that just splits everything open. He's not interested in getting the ball, but he draws men out. I think they have to do that a lot this season, and your McGinns and Grealishes will get some more goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to share the goals out a bit more.
Second half didn't do as much, and you could tell he was getting frustrated. I don't know if it was with himself or the others, but it seemed to be from the second half we just completely shut up shop.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just a natural thing or we might have been told at half time to do that, but you could tell he was getting really worked up about it, and then he just became a little bit sloppy.
And then he got taken off, and Kodja came on, and he had about 6 touches, fell over about 12 times, and that's why I think I would have brought on Keenan Davis. I think he would have done a better job. Yeah,
similar style to Wesley, just a little bit of a bigger build.
And he looked bright in pre-season, especially against Charlton. He held the ball up quite well, but Kodja, that's probably why people were saying they probably would have.
I'm sure Smith wanted a striker in the window.
Yeah.
I think we might have just run out of time. It was maybe if we get one, happy days. If not, we don't worry and we kind of do the best with what we've got.
But we've got January.
Early indications would suggest we need one in January.
Right, on to the new segment now. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, already do, because I'll be asking for your comments for things like this. So people replied with their comments, and I'm going to read a few out now. First one comes from George. He says, talk about the media keep piping up about Grealish's 19 Premier League loss streak, even though it's a useless stat. If you haven't seen this, basically Match of the Day and all that were tweeting out that Grealish has lost each of his last 19 Premier League games that he's featured in.
Every other one apart from yesterday, he was just kind of like a player that was there. He was like 19,
in an awful
20.
squad.
Dreadful team with no English players really.
And he was like 20 years old.
Yeah, and he was just kind of just running around. He was doing what he did now, just not as well. And
yeah,
I don't know, that's not a good stat to go off.
It's a dreadful stat. People are giving him crap already on Twitter saying he's overhyped. Give him a chance.
Yeah.
I think it is very unfair. It's a useless stat. Next comment comes from Trev. He says, the fitness levels of the players against the top four, how much do we need to improve? I think fitness will come.
Yeah, I think a lot of people saying we just ran out of steam. I think it was more just a wake-up call for a lot of them, just to say, look, this is the league. It's probably good that we played someone like Tottenham.
Yeah.
It's like this is what we've got to come
Set
up against.
Set the standards high.
If we play like that every week, I know we sat back, but if we play with the sort of way that we did, it will become a lot easier for us.
You'd hope so. I think, yes, the fitness will come eventually. It's a wake-up call, isn't it? And hopefully we'll see it progress. But yeah, I think fitness does need to improve a little bit.
Right, final one comes from Jamie. He says, Connor played really well versus Spurs, but having an anchoring central midfielder will allow McGinn and Grealish to operate further forward. So, should Luiz or Nakamba start against Bournemouth on Saturday?
Thing is, we don't know, because we haven't seen these players. We haven't seen these players yet.
I would stick with Horahan, especially being at home.
Yeah.
We just look a bit more secure at home. We always have. That's just the case with every team. We're not going to go and play Bournemouth and just sit back for 90 minutes.
Look, we did have a lot of the ball time.
We wouldn't.
We didn't have a lot of the ball time, 30% possession.
And even so, I thought Horahan was, like I said, Horahan was fine.
And you'd think we'd have more of the ball against Bournemouth. We'd have a little bit of a more threat going forward. And he can add to that. We haven't seen marvellous Nakamba. We haven't seen Douglas Luiz yet.
There was much, no.
No, so
because he was just stuck in to defend as well.
And we were under threat at that point.
Going forward, I think he's a different player. I've seen a lot of the clips with him playing at Madrid and whatever else, and he was flying forward. They will come. We've got the time to play them.
Yeah.
Maybe we start one of them in the cup, something like that. Get them into it. See how they fare.
But we'll wait and see. I think we'd start Horahan. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. Do let us know what you're thinking on everything we've discussed in the comments below. Let me know if you like this sort of new series.
If there's anything you'd want to add.
Hopefully I'll do it every week. It won't always be me and Owen because we got work and all that sort of stuff. So sometimes it'll be on my own, but sometimes it'll be with Owen. So let me know what you think of this whole series, just talking about Villa basically and other sort of things going on in the football world. As I said, like the video if you have enjoyed it, subscribe if you are new.
See you at Bournemouth.
See you at Bournemouth, up the Villa.